Hi everybody, it's school outs for a really long time science. I'm back. My hair still looks pretty bad because all the hairdressers are closed, right? All right, first thing I'm going to do is show you a germ experiment. I'm going to use pepper as the germ, and I'm going to put it on top of this. Uh-oh. I probably have to open it first, right? I'm going to put it on top of this water, and you can see all the specks of pepper, and we're going to just call those germs. And the best way to keep germs from making you sick is to wash your hands very well with soap. So here's some dish soap, and let's see what happens. Now this experiment is actually about water tension, surface tension, but let's see, actually let's do a few more germs. All right, let's see what happens when we add soap to the germs, just like when we're washing our hands and singing happy birthday or whatever you're gonna sing. Look at that. Did you get that, Eric? Mm-hmm. Okay. Those germs go far away from the soap. That's why we want to wash our hands before we do any experiments or any cooking or anything else these days. All right, remember the experiment I showed you last week? We're going to do that little guy again. We're going to hope it works. And we're going to try, I made magnetic silly putty. So the next few experiments will be all about magnets. You can tell I was using iron filings because my fingers are all stained black. So we're going to try and make this little guy dance again. And actually, I think I'm just going to pour some water on him. I'm going to pour water on him, see if he'll, oh, I destroyed him. All right, just pretend like he looks pretty good. I guess I should have used the eyedropper, huh? And then we're going to put a little bit of this magnetic silly putty, which is made with glue and starch or borax, and then some iron filings. Let's see. I'm going to put a little bit on there. Hopefully it'll stick. A little bit more maybe. Yeah. Sticking to my finger more than the, all right. And then I have a really strong magnet, a rare earth magnet. I'll show you the real name after. Let's see if we can get something to move. Maybe I've got it backwards. Oh, I got a paper clip to stick to me. You know what? Oh, I see it a little bit. Do you see a little bit? Not very exciting. If you try this at home and if you have a really good magnet, maybe even stronger than this, you can get some of it to stick to that marker, to the dry erase marker, and then make that little guy move all around. I think I was a little too rough with it. Let me show you. All right, let me show you what happens with magnetic putty and a really strong rare earth magnet. Let's put it there. You probably can't see it moving. Well, now you can. Watch what happens. Here's some smaller rare earth magnets. The iron filings that are in this Play-Doh make it magnetic, and pretty soon it's going to swallow that right up. Let me try making a silly shape. Oh, I can hardly get that out now. Watch this. Oop. Luckily my finger wasn't in there. All right, watch this. Oh, it's slippery now. Let me see if I can get it. Whoa, look at that. So it's regular silly putty recipe, and then you just use iron filings or iron oxide shavings, and it's almost like a powder, and you mix it and it makes it magnetic. See that? You can do all kinds of things with it. How about we try to, I can't get this apart. They're very strong. Okay, how about if we try and magnetize a nail? All right, watch this. Maybe I'll, where should I do this, Eric? I'll do it right here. All right, let's see. Here's a nail. And so if you don't have a magnet at home, you can make one. The nail is not picking up this paper clip. But if you take a good magnet and you rub it in this in the same direction over and over and over again, like I'm doing, ouch, it's really strong. You have to be careful. If you do that enough times, the nail will become magnetized, hopefully, cross your fingers, And then, maybe it's not enough times.
Almost.
Let's try it again. Yeah, I could feel a little bit of pull, and you have to be patient. You have to do it many times. If it doesn't work this time, I'll show you another trick. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
So it'll be temporary, but you can make your own little magnet. Another fun thing to do if you, ouch, if you have a magnet is to see how strong it is. So you can take a whole bunch of paper clips, whoop, and stick them, and then try and get another one to stick, whoop, and another one. They're not cooperating. The magnetic field goes through there. Usually you can make a long line of them. Obviously today nothing's working very well. That's sometimes the way it is with science. Hey, all right, let's try it with this one. And you can have a contest. There we go. You can have a contest with your friends and see who's got the strongest magnet. See, that one maybe isn't that strong, but if we try this one, I think because it's bigger, it's going to be a little stronger. Ah, it's too strong. It won't even do it in a line. All right, so experiment. And one of the most fun things to do in your house is if you have a magnet, just go around, as long as it's all right with your mom and dad, and see what's metal and what isn't, whatever it would stick to. Anything that's doesn't have metal in it, it won't stick to, and if it does, it will. You can also use one of your refrigerator magnets, and you can put a piece of paper on top and glue it and color it and make your own cool magnet to hang on your refrigerator. I made a little guy with a Kleenex. There's a bottle cap, and I put a little magnet inside his head, and then I decorated him and gave him some goofy hair. And if you have a shoebox, this can keep kids busy for quite a while. Here's my magnet wand, and since he has a magnet in his head or something metal, you can make him dance all around. So kids could make a whole show with magnets. Whoop. All right. If you do that, send us pictures, okay? All right. One last thing. This is the same. This is actually vegetable oil mixed with the same iron filings that were in the Play-Doh. And this is really, or in the slime, this is really, really cool. You see that? So this is called Ferrofluid. And it looks kind of like a hedgehog. I don't know if it's really small, but it makes the coolest design. And
Tilt the plate up this way?
This way?
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah, and it's so strong I can hardly move it. See that? That is a really fun thing to do. If you don't have the stuff to make this, I know you have vegetable oil, but if you don't have the filings, YouTube Ferrofluid, and you'll be able to see them doing all kinds of stuff with it. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's very therapeutic to watch that.
Looks like Venom from Spider-Man.
Yeah, it does. Or a hedgehog. I just keep thinking hedgehog, yeah. And you can also put a drop of that in a bottle of water, and then you can make it follow it around. See that? It's kind of like an Etch-a-Sketch or something. I think that's the way an Etch-a-Sketch might work. So there's all kinds of things you can do with magnets. You could explore your house all day long, but just make sure you get permission first. All right. We're going to try a dancing experiment. We're going to try and make things dance, like little pieces of pasta, little pieces of rice, and I didn't have raisins, but I did have cranberries. So we're going to try that. And you can use either vinegar and baking soda, like we did last week, to make a bubbly solution, or you can just use pop that's clear so you can see. This is just seltzer water. So I'm going to pour this in here. And then Eric will film this. We'll see what might happen. I'm going to put some things in.
So you're putting the rice or the pasta in the solution.
Putting it right in. And when the bubbles stop, the bubbles are pretty strong right now. When they slow down, you might be able to see what is happening. And probably a wider container at home. And if you don't have clear soda or pop, just do some baking soda in water and then add some vinegar to it to create the bubbles. And if you watch, things are gonna come up. The bubbles that attach to the cranberries or the pasta or the rice will burst. That makes it fall down. And then when they gather more bubbles stuck to them, they'll float up to the top again. It makes them lighter or less dense, and then they'll go up to the top. So that's why it's called dancing raisins, rice, and pasta. And that's something you could easily do at home. You probably have all those materials.
Oh, look at all those rice grains.
Yep, and the rice must be the lightest, because those are really going, huh? I should put some more of those in there. And it'll last as long as there are still some bubbles. Yep, see how it goes down, and then it gathers? I don't know why, the pasta's kind of, maybe it's getting soggy, I'm not sure. Oh, there goes one down. That'll keep kids busy for a while. Miss Chris is pretty famous for this experiment because she did it with jingle bells. That was one of my favorites to watch. Anything happening? Oh, there goes one. There goes another one. Yep. All right, and try different things. You don't have to always use what I use. The best part of science is that you can say, oh, I wonder what would happen if I used apple juice. Try it with that. But the bubbles are the secret to this one. All right, next we're going to move on to bubbles. I made a bubble solution with just some dish soap and water and a little bit of glycerin, because glycerin makes bubbles stronger. And I let it sit overnight. And I'm going to pour it in here and show you a few different ways that bubbles can keep you busy. Whoop. Little bubbles, tiny bubbles. All right, I'm going to put some in here because these I'm going to add food coloring to for a painting in a little while. All right, there are all different bubble wands that you can make at home. This one I made real quick yesterday, and then when I got home I realized I did have an empty tin can, and you always want one end to be covered with gauze or cheesecloth and the other end to have a little hole in it. So this is just a piece of gauze, like from a medical kit, and you can cover the open end with that after you've used your vegetables or whatever it was. So you can cover that like that. You want it to be stretched pretty tight. You're going to put a rubber band around it, and then I just poked a hole in here with a hammer and a nail. That's the part you're going to blow on. So this is a nice sturdy one. This is one I already made, and this makes something called a bubble snake. So you're going to dip the gauze or the gauze or the cheesecloth on one end. You're going to blow on the little hole.
Oh, look at that.
All right, you might need more. It's going to make lots and lots of bubbles, and if your solution is really good, it will make a long snake. Works really well with a can, so you can try that at home. Also, I'll just put this over here. You can tape straws together, and you can, let's see, which end was I going to do? You can tape straws together. This is feeling a little liquidy, so I might need to add more soap. And then, oh, little tiny bubbles. All right. You can also make a bubble wand out of 2 pieces of straw and string. You're going to dip it in like this. I'm going to get a little bit more soap because it's feeling really liquidy. And you're going to dip it in like this. It doesn't matter what your fingers touch as long as you're holding the straw. And then you're going to open it up carefully.
Ooh, look at that. It's like a screen.
Ah. Try that again. As long as your fingers don't touch the film, it should be good. Now it's slippery and I can't pick it up. All right. Oh, my bubbles are not very strong. You get the idea. You can do this, and if you go outside, you can use the wind. You can use the wind to help blow the bubbles. All right, this is my favorite one right here. I'm gonna make it a little better because I obviously made it too, I'm not very good at measuring. And I'm gonna make a bubble solution right here on the table. This is a great challenge to do at home if you're stuck inside.
And it'll clean the table too.
Uh-huh. So the challenge is to blow a bubble. All right, I'm gonna do it here. Blow a bubble and then try and blow a bubble in a bubble.
Oh,
I popped
almost.
it. Right here. I've already made a mess. What difference does it make, right? My goodness. Oh. All right. It is not working. Well, you know what? This is the way science is sometimes, guys. I don't know about using glycerin.
Almost.
I know, but yesterday it worked perfectly, of course. All right, let's try this. It is not working. I don't know why. It's not especially cloudy day. It's not an especially sunny day. It's just in between. I don't know why. One more time. Let me try. I obviously don't have the right mix of, well, maybe it's because it sat overnight. Do you think?
That's a good experiment to try
It
to
is
see
a good
which
experiment.
solution.
So when you make your dish soap and water at home, even if you don't use glycerin, it will work better than this. Whoops, it's also running off the table. We're going to have a really clean rug. I can't stop trying it. That's the way I am. I'm going to keep trying it, and it's not working at all. Maybe it's because it sat overnight.
Oh, there you go.
It's just not very strong. All right, we'll try that again some other time. I was going to show you that you can add food color to your bubble solution and then use bubble wands to dip in and then blow against a piece of white paper and make a picture. If you do that at home, make sure you send pictures to us because it can be really pretty. I don't trust my bubble solution right now. Let's try just one. And I'll show you what I mean. And then you can use all different colors in your bubble solution and you can make a really cool picture. All right, I already know my bubble solution isn't very strong, so I'm gonna add a little bit more soap and then mix it up. Mix it up with the spoon. Whoopsies. I'm gonna have a lot of cleanup today, huh? That's why you always have to ask first. I can feel that it's not, maybe it's because I didn't use good dish soap. I bought the cheapest stuff. All right, let's try this. The food color has to be pretty strong to work. Eric, this is why I was nervous today, because nothing is working.
But that's part of science, is sometimes we got to test it.
Oh my goodness. If you have good bubble solution, and maybe you want to buy already made bubble solution, because it's not that expensive. You know what, I should have taken it from Lolly's story time. It would have worked. All right, if you can blow a bubble with color in it and blow it again onto a white paper, it will be a really pretty picture, especially the more you do, the better it'll look. Maybe it's my hair in my face. All right, I'm going to show you how to make two launchers. One is a rocket launcher, and one is just a pom-pom launcher. This is just a pretty sturdy paper cup. You're going to cut the end off so that you have another hole, and then you're going to cut a balloon and secure it. You tie the end where you would blow it up. The other end you put over the small part of the cup, and then secure it with a rubber band. And this is just like a pom-pom launcher. So let me show you. It's going to be just air force. You're going to pull back on the back of the balloon, And when you, when you shoot it, there it goes. And it can shoot a bigger pom-pom. It could shoot marshmallows or mini marshmallows. Whoa, that one hit the ceiling. That was a good one. So that'd be something really simple to make. You can make a target at home and have target practice, see who can knock things down. You could even use other cups upside down to try and knock down. And then, this is the dish soap I should have used. Okay, so this is empty, and it made much better bubbles. And it's all cleaned out. And what I did was make sure that the small straw fits into the opening. That's going to be my launcher. So I stuck that in the opening, and I used a little bit of either Play-Doh or sticky tack or whatever you have that's, I've even used bubble gum before. So you attach that so that no air comes out here. You're filling in that gap with a small straw. You want to make sure your small straw and your big straw go together. So the big straw has to fit over the small straw because this is going to be a rocket, okay? You can decorate it with little fins, and I just used a glue gun. And then the cone, that's the important part, because if I put, let me show you, if I put this straw on top and I squeeze the air, does anything happen? Little
Barely.
bit. Little bit. But if we cover it so the air gets trapped in there, then it really shoots. Yep. So in order to do that, you're going to take half a circle and you're going to fold it over to make a cone like that. And you're just going to glue it and put some glue inside and then put your rocket in there, and you can decorate it the rest of the way. So a small straw, a bigger straw, decorate it and make sure you trap that air so that, whoops, so that your rocket will go flying in the air. Whoop. When you press, it will launch. Okay, you guys can have contests doing that too. All right, this is the name of the magnet that I use, the rare earth magnet that's really strong. And this is a website you can go to, www.raftcolorado.org. It's a place where people can buy a membership, and it's especially for teachers and librarians, and they use all recycled materials, and they'll give you a lot of good ideas on their website of things you can do at home, especially physics kind of science, that you can do using recycled materials that you have at home. So that's a good spot to visit. All right, last thing I'm going to try is static experiment. I don't know if today's going to be good for that or not, but everybody's seen the balloon where you rub it on your hair, your fake hair, I hope. And you're going to build up static, and it sticks to the wall.
Magic.
I've been doing that since I'm a little kid, so hopefully you guys can try that. Hopefully you've seen that before. Another thing you can do with static, let me just use this. You can use all different materials. I just used tissue paper, and I cut some seashells and fish, and I put a plexi across so that it gave some little bit of space, and now I'm using the static that I built up on this balloon to make things dance around. The static it makes it charged, and it will come up to the balloon, and then it will drop down again. I rub really hard on my beautiful hairdo. It will. Whoa, look at that. Pretty cool, huh? You could use little hole punches. You could try different material in your house, maybe little pieces of foil or little pieces of ribbon or just any scraps you can find, and see which one reacts the best to static electricity. I have a wool hat that I use too, and that works really well, but since this was already charged, I thought we'll just do this. All right, those are the experiments I have for today. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.